So this run basically came out of nowhere because I had been resetting thousands and thousands of times. I had gotten good runs, but none of them were as good as this one. I find the buried treasure really fast because it's sticking out of the side of the cliff, and that was great. And then I get one flint from breaking that, which is even better. And this is not ranked. The seed is not like filtered, or the rates aren't, you know, what's it called, like predetermined. So I already this run is just, I'm like, whoa, this is just so fast. So I craft my tools, which could be faster because I need to practice hotkeys and just doing things faster in general. And I make my shovel, and then I make a gold helmet so the piglins don't attack me when I get to the bastion, just because I have enough gold. I sort my inventory a little, and I get some more wood. And I do get some extra wood because it's always good to have blocks in a speed run for like bastion routing and terrain navigation and, just things like that. So that's why I get extra wood, because I don't have shears to get leaves or anything. So I'm like, this is already kind of fast. I can spend a little bit of time getting some wood. So here I craft my doors and my boat, which you need doors to make a nether portal with a magma ravine. I craft my flint there too, or my flint and steel. You can't craft flint, only flint and steel. And I see the kelp floating over here. Well, before I do, I see these other ravines. So I check them to make sure to just see if they're magma ravines, but they're not. So I see this kelp floating, and I do see some ocean ruins over there. So I'm like, okay, this might be an ocean ruin. And I do realize it is. So then I go over to this other little spot of floating kelp I see. And the reason kelp is floating is because it tries to generate on the obsidian or magma, but it's not, the bottom of the ocean like gravel, so it breaks and it floats to the top. So I turn hitboxes on to see it. And I don't need to get gravel. And there's a guy throwing a trident at me. So I try to go down as fast as I can, and I try and place the doors like in front of him. And I think the trident was like stuck on a magma block or something, because it was just like making a bunch of noise. But I guess he didn't come down there with me, and it looked like it was going to be a sub 3 nether enter, which is pretty good for me. I haven't yet gotten a sub 2, but sub 3 is good pace. And I messed up the portal right there. It's never happened before. I don't know what I was doing or why I had water that time. Well, I do know why, but I don't know why that time and not others. So I'm looking for an entity spike right here to see if there's a bastion in my render distance. And it appears that there is. So I look to see how many entities are in the direction I'm facing. And there are a lot in this direction. So usually that means there's a bastion. And I have some extra wood, so I use that to get across the Soul Sand Valley. The only thing with this that is a little bit annoying is that when I get over to the end right here, skeleton shoots me and knocks me off, and then there's a gas shooting at me, so I'm all like running around trying to get around this. But luckily the skeleton shoots the zombie pigmen, and then they all attack it, and I think the gas blew them up too. But that's not the point. Anyway, I get around it, and I see the bastion. It's not far. At 1.16.1, I don't know if it's in other versions, but when you can see the bastion right there. I turn because the fog goes away on the side of your screen in this version, so that's nice. And I almost fell in that lava pit, which would have been really annoying. But if I did, it would have just been like every other run where I have fallen in a lava pit. So there's that. And usually, right now, I would, try to get to the lava basin where I start the route, but no. I do not hesitate. I just bridge straight over. This is one of the things that tells me that I've gotten a lot faster at speedrunning, because I don't hesitate right here. I just go into the bastion, which I'm pretty happy about, because now that I know I just need to do stuff and not staying there thinking about what I'm going to do or what's going to happen after I do it. I just got to do it. And then, yeah, the thing with this bastion is that it's corrupted by basalt, and I did look at the time, and it could have been about a minute faster, at least a minute faster, if I didn't have to mine all this, which would have made this run even faster, which would have been even closer to my goal. but you'll see what the time is at the end. So I make a little staircase for pigs to come up, which I end up not needing because what I should have did, I mined this down here. I don't know why I didn't just like drop down from there and go over it and just mine the gold blocks and stack back up. That's what I should have done instead of like mining through all this and making this little bridge sort of thing. Those are the things that, looking back at it now, I realize I need to do faster. Like, just do the fastest thing, not what, you know. I don't know. Just do fast stuff and speedrun, you know, that makes sense. And I did mess up jumping that gold block a little bit. You're supposed to land on the block you place, but I placed it too low. And I threw a gold block to distract them since they're not coming up because I didn't build a staircase, which I decided not to because I knew that would waste more time. But I end up getting enough pigs anyway. So I come to the top, I mine here to get more pigs over, and there's more basalt right here, which is even more annoying. This could have been so much faster if there wasn't basalt everywhere. So I'm mining it, and I didn't need to mine quite as much as I did, but that's not too important. So I throw the gold and I start mining the gold blocks like you usually do for treasure. I think treasure for me is one of the faster ones. I think it might be for other runners too. Or just in general, it's just a faster bastion type. But it's pretty fast for me. So I drop down, I get this gold block, which I think isn't usually in RSG. Like, you don't usually get that one. I'm not completely sure about that, but I just got it because I knew where it was, and I don't know. It's gold. Trade with piglins. I got it. So anyway, I mine even more basalt to get over to this other side to get some more gold blocks. And I get this top one. And right here, I dig down to try to get the one on this side, but it's not there. And I drop down anyway, which I need to make sure it's not there before I drop down. And I think it's a good thing I got that other block because there was some missing over there. So I check my trays and I keep some gold just in case any pigs are gonna come after me while I'm looting the chest. And I get this gold block as well. I don't know if I really needed it, but I might as well get it because I'm right there and my pigs are still trading. So I find some obsidian in the chest, which is pretty good because you need 20. You're not likely to get all of that from the pigs as well as all the other stuff you need. So I throw the pigs some more of the gold. I don't know what I did. I was like checking trades or something again. And I'm looking pretty good on obsidian because these chests have a good amount. So I'm like, okay, it's sub 8 right now. It might be decent bastion pace. Like, not too bad. I think I entered at like 5 minutes. So it's a little bit slower, mostly because of the basalt. So I'm checking my trades. I can't decide whether I should have just gone down into the treasure part and broke the spawner so I could find what direction the fortress was in. I couldn't decide if I wanted to do that while I was waiting for the pigs to trade. But I knew they were almost done, so I just waited. So I go down, and I go over my little bridge. I keep missing my jumps. That's another really annoying thing. So I go over, you know, usually I pick up some crying obsidian that the guy traded. And I boat down. Boats are so useful. Kind of overpowered for navigating terrain. I break the spawner, and one of the reasons I like coming down here to look for the fortress, which, I mean, usually kind of have to do. You don't have to look for it here, but you do need to break the spawner. One of the reasons I like doing it down here is because it's open, well, more open, so you can go across the chunk borders easier. And this is what I realized. The fortress is really close. It's at like 11 chunks. And luckily, the first border I go across, it's that direction. I'm like, okay, this is really fast. It's still sub 10. I might can make it a sub 10 fort, depending on how difficult it is to get to. But the terrain looks pretty easy. And I accidentally pressed my eye measuring key right there. So I pearl over, hoping to see the fort, and it's right there. So I'm like, wow, it's not even 9:30 yet. This could be a sub 10 fort, and that could be really fast. And there's this gas shooting at me, and I don't have good angle for pearls. So this gas is kind of freaking me out because I don't want them to knock me off. So I just stack up, and I decide to pearl over when I do get to the top. And I also am proud of how I have managed my food. because usually I use a lot more food, but I had 3 when I entered the fort. So that's really nice. The other thing I need to work on is organizing my inventory because I still have some junk like quartz and I don't know, enchanted book, things like that. And instead of going around trying to do a weird way to get to the spawner, I just bridge over and run. That's something that I probably wouldn't have done when I first started speedrunning. But it's little things you gotta do and not hesitate that really make up a fast run. I don't know what I was doing with the lava bucket. I didn't get the hoglin. It would have made the fort a bit faster if I did not have to deal with these hoglins because they were kind of annoying. And they just kind of turn away from me even though there's no warped fungus right there. So I don't really know what was going on. Actually, there was some on the other side, but I don't know why they would turn away from me. But anyway, I dealt with the hoglins, so I killed some blazes. And right now, the rates are pretty good. You know, I get 2 for 2, which is great. I don't blaze bed because I only have 48 string. Usually you want 60. I do kill that hoglin. I pick up the lava in time so it doesn't burn the food. So I get some extra food. I don't blaze bed yet because, well, like I said, I don't have enough string. I was thinking about doing it because I'm like, this run might be dead because I don't have enough string and I'm not that good at one cycling. But these blaze rates are insane because I have gotten like 5 for 5 at this point. I'm like, wow, this is like, I have played ranked and these are on an RSG run, these are the craziest blaze rates I've ever gotten. I only have 12 wool, can't blaze bed. I build my blind portal a bit slow. I need to work on building that a lot faster. But I'm waiting for blazes to spawn anyway, and I don't think I need to clear out the spawner because I've already gotten such good blaze rates. And I should have blaze bedded if I didn't get good blaze rates, but there was only one guy that didn't drop, so I've gotten 7 for 8 blaze rates. That's crazy. And this is a 12-minute blind, which is really good pace for me. I've only had a couple other runs that are that fast. So here I'm doing my bow die for my eye measuring to find the stronghold, which isn't too bad, but I really don't want to mess up because I'm traumatized from messing up my eye measurements, not measurings. Eye measurings, that's weird. Don't say that. Eye measurements. I am traumatized because one time I was playing ranked and I had my settings messed up. I didn't realize. So I kept missing. So now every time just like, please don't miss a stronghold. Please don't miss a stronghold. But anyway, you'll see whether I miss it or not. And so I measure and I go back in and I already have enough rods. So that's great. And I forgot to check what angle the eye was going. So I have to kind of sit here and figure out which direction I need to go. Because the coordinates, I think, were like 310, 540, I think. So I'm going this direction. I could have thrown pearl or a pearl, but there were a bunch of trees and I didn't want to hit them. And it was just weird. I didn't know exactly where it was going. So I just didn't. I just stacked up. And I knew my coordinates were kind of high. So I pearled down here, which was great because it was the direction I needed to go. And it was lower because you want to be low if you want to hit the stronghold. Because, you know, it's underground. And there are a little bit of things with this terrain navigation that could have been better. But I think it's okay. I did kind of stop in a few places. I wasn't sure exactly like where to go. Like right here, I think I hesitated a bit. But the terrain is actually pretty good, and I realized I just need to throw a pearl over in this direction. And I thought I was going to have to bridge over the lava. So that's why I stop and I get blocks out of my inventory. But I sit here for a second and then I realize I don't. And I should have went around these blocks that I'm mining instead of mining more, because that would have saved time. And I realized, wait, this is like 14 minutes. This is my fastest pace ever. Yeah, fastest pace ever. So I was like, wow. And this is when I started getting really, really nervous because, you know, it could be a sub 15 stronghold, which is crazy for me. And I do hit the stronghold, though I think I might have had my measurements a little off because it's not the starter staircase, but I'm lucky I actually got it in the stronghold. So I look for I set my pie chart first, and then I look for the spike on the pie chart where the silverfish spawner might be in the portal room. So I'm like, this is really fast, but it could be dead because I could just not find the portal room fast enough. And so, I turn the corner and it's right there. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is 15 minutes. Oh my goodness, this is so fast. So I'm just getting even more nervous at this point. And it's a 2-eye, so I could have went with less blaze rods, which would have been crazy with the rates that I got. So what I should have done is spent some time crafting at the blaze spawner. I need to spend some time between like pearl throws and the blaze spawner, crafting and organizing my inventory and things like that. At this point, there's so many little things that can make it faster that I need to get better at in order to get another personal best. And I do spend a little bit too much time organizing my inventory, but I don't need the crafting table, so I just enter the end. But still, I'm like, I only have 5 explosives, 4 beds, and a respawn anchor. So I could just not hit the 1 cycle. And even if I do, the dragon could just take forever to perch, so I can't get too excited. I'm thinking all that to myself, but still, I'm really nervous because it's like really fast paced for me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go. I try to calm myself down because I'm like, the dragon's probably just not going to perch. So I go over. I start getting sad, And so I set up the 1 cycle because I don't know how to do a 0 cycle yet. And the dragon is circling the tower opposite me, so I know it's going to perch soon, which made me even more nervous than I already was. So it turned, and I placed my respawn anchor, and I know I can mess up my bed timings. This made me so nervous. But it came down, and that had good damage. Okay damage, good damage. And this last one, I think it might have been that second bed that just didn't have good damage. Anyway, I hit it with my axe and I was like, please don't fly. Please don't fly. Please don't fly. Because several runs I've had where it needs 1 more hit and it flies. But I get it. And my mouse moves very slowly right there because I take my hand off the mouse. I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And I do actually have a reaction here, which is just me, freaking out because I didn't think I was that good at Minecraft. So that's a 17-minute run. 17:12. I did it. I did it. No, I got a sub 20. 17. Oh, my brain. I'm shaking. Oh my gosh. Oh, my hands. I can't believe I did that. That was actually pretty fast.